Looking forward to this. It's Manning versus Brady 17. Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are certainly familiar with each other. They've split in the postseason, going 2-2 head-to-head. Now, we know Manning's postseason woes. He's 12-13 in the playoffs. Meanwhile, Brady's Achilles heel has been playing at Mile High. He's 0-2 in the playoffs in Denver and is 2-6 overall. So who are Brady's two wins against, you ask, in Denver? Our very own Danny Cannell and Tim Tebow. So, Skip Bayless, the question is, which one of these veteran signal callers is going to have the psychological edge?
Stephen A., being the Brady supporter I have to go Tom Brady has the edge, but after what I saw from Peyton yesterday, and I ain't kidding about this, only slightly edge Brady here. I have told you all year long that Tom Brady has been on a Deflategate mission to get even with the NFL world that wrongly accused him and then wrongly convicted him, at least in the court of public opinion, before he was exonerated in a real court. And win after win up to that loss in Denver, I kept telling you that Brady was basically saying to the NFL world, deflate that and deflate that and deflate that. And I was very pleased on Saturday that I did see Psycho Tom re-emerge. Now that he had Edelman back and most of Gronk back, I saw an emotionally crazed Tom Brady. That's the Brady I love because it's in a good way that he gets over-emotional, he yells, he screams, he exhorts, he face mask bumps with Gronkowski or anybody else in his area. And I love that guy. And I think we'll see that guy again Sunday in Denver. And I hope he gets sick and tired of hearing all of us talk, what Molly just said, talk about the Achilles heel is Denver, that he has demons to face down in Denver, that he has only beaten Danny Cannell and the great Tim Tebow in Denver. And he was Psycho Tom that day against Tim Tebow that Sunday afternoon at Mile High when he beat Tim Tebow. And it took every bit of Tom Brady to pull that one off. So I'm hoping that he will play with good rage in this game to sort of get even with with the one flaw in his record, that he's only 2-6, and he's obviously lost 2 playoff games in Denver. So I expect him to play very well. But I'm also going to throw this in as a caveat. This is starting to feel fairy tale-ish to me for Peyton Manning. I don't know. Molly's loving this over here because I think
I believe in fairy tales.
Yes, she believes in fairy tales, and I'm starting to, because this has been obviously the hardest year of Peyton's career emotionally. I think that organization wanted to go a different direction and cut bait with Peyton Manning. And obviously it's been back and forth, sparring, clashing with the philosophically with Kubiak. Should he be under center? Should he be in the shotgun? We went back and forth about the Kansas City game. When they finally gave up and said, had the game at Arrowhead, they said, Peyton, you just have to go win this game for us. And he did. But he wound up, as I pointed out earlier, with 9 touchdowns to 17 interceptions. He's been through the plantar fascia tear. He's been through Al Jazeera accusations. It has been a hellacious hard run for Peyton Manning. No respect. The 4 days after he won the regular season finale in relief, and then he pulled that off yesterday, and it felt like a little meant to be. So it's going to be real close on psychological edge. But now I'm starting to think Peyton's also going to play very well in this game.
You know, Skip Bayless, before I got sick as a dog, or in the process of getting sick as a dog, where I even wondered if I was going to be here today, but I couldn't miss a Monday, not with you. You know, I took the liberty of having dinner just the other night with a gentleman by the name of Eric Braden, who happens to be arguably the biggest soap opera star in history. Plays Victor Newman on Young and the Restless. He and I had dinner the other night. And I bring him up, Skip Bayless, because the melodrama that you've been spewing all morning about Peyton Manning, I think I'm going to reach out to Eric Braden within the next couple of hours and ask him personally for a role for you on the Young and the Restless. Maybe we should call it Manning and the Restless. I don't know. I'll come up with something, because the stuff that you have been spewing about Peyton Manning all morning long has got me so nauseated. I mean, you would think that, oh my Lord, look at him. He has, he's returned from the grave. He was believed to be dead. I know the 9 touchdowns, the 17 interceptions, questions about his throwing arm strength, all of that stuff. But we all recognize he was hurt. If he were healthy enough to play, then he should be in there, not Brock Osweiler. You act like everyone wrote his epitaph and he was completely done. No, the only question anybody had about Peyton Manning was his health. That's it, like anybody else. Are you healthy enough to play or are you not? You act like all of us thought, oh, his skills are just gone. He's old, he's done, please retire right now. No. The question was he healthy enough to play? That's all anybody ever thought about. And that is it. How in God's name are you going to sit here with a straight face, with your soap opera melodramatic self on this particular Monday, acting like, oh my goodness, Peyton Manning, if he pulls this off, it'll be a miracle. If he does pull it off, it won't be because of Peyton Manning. The miracle won't be about Peyton Manning. It'll be about Demaryius Thomas. You gonna drop any passes today? Your mama was in attendance for the first time. That's what the story was. But you dropped a couple of passes. Emmanuel Sanders, Vernon Davis. You left your hands in San Francisco. Forget about your heart. You left your hands in San Francisco.
And
oh, by the way, hold on, wait. It gets better. It gets better, Skip. Here's the thing that has me dying laughing. You know, New England did lose to Denver in the Mile High City. I recall that game going to overtime. I also recall it a game where Tom Brady didn't have Deion Lewis, didn't have Danny Amendola, didn't have Julian Edelman, and Gronk got hurt.
2:54
and
to
Gronk
go.
got hurt. You came in here the next morning. We were wondering about Gronkowski. Tom Brady put his head down. He was like, oh, my God, did I lose this guy for the season? What have I done? Throwing the ball over the middle a little bit too high. Couldn't protect himself. They took a shot at his leg. Can Gronk go? So the game went to overtime without all of those dudes. But here they are. Edelman is back. Amendola is back. Gronk can play. And now you got Steven Jackson in the backfield because both Deion Lewis and LeGarrette Blount are gone. I know there's still problems on your offensive line. I know Steven Jackson ain't the stud he used to be. But come on. You act like the Patriots are going in there completely stripped and, oh, my goodness, they're just in a world of trouble. I mean, please. The Patriots should be the favorites in this game, but Denver is right up there with them if their guys on offense will catch the damn ball. They can't drop passes. That's what this comes down to. Plain and simple. But to sit around here and talk about, oh, my goodness, Peyton Manning, he pulls this off. What a miracle. Just stop. They're relatively evenly matched. It should be a really good game. It can go either way depending on who shows up and does their job. But let's not act like, oh, my goodness, it's going to be a resurrection of some sort. Stop with the drama. Please.
May I speak?
Go ahead.
Question. That's Sunday night after Thanksgiving in Denver. Who is the quarterback for the Broncos? Help me out because my memory's fuzzy and fades.
Brock Osweiler.
Thank you. Also, Peyton Manning didn't even play in that game, and it still went to overtime because my Patriots blew a 21-7 lead in the fourth quarter. Am I right about that?
Yes.
To Brock Osweiler. So are you suggesting Brock Osweiler should start this game and Denver would have a better chance? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not suggesting it. I'm saying to you that Denver collectively, assembled by John Elway, is a good enough team to go nip and tuck with the New England Patriots. That's all I'm saying. So you sitting up here and acting like it would be such a miracle is ridiculous on either side. This is the AFC Championship game most of us predicted if Peyton Manning hadn't had trouble during the season. We walked into this season believing that Peyton Manning and Tom Brady were on a collision course to meet for the AFC Championship game. There's no difference here. The only trepidation or the only suspense entailed whether it would be in Foxborough or the Mile High my city because we all believed that Peyton Manning would have no shot in Foxborough.
Help me out
But now
here.
it's going to be in Denver.
What team led the National Football League in sacks? Just help me because I get fuzzy.
That would be
I
the
fade.
Denver Broncos.
Oh, thank you. It's the Broncos. I'd forgotten that. Thank you for reminding
So
me
what's your
of that.
point? What's your point,
So here comes Von Miller off one edge and DeMarcus Ware off the other against my decimated offensive line, this collection of misfits.
Wait a minute. You're making my point. My point is, so it shouldn't be a shocker. And we shouldn't throw a parade if Peyton Manning wins because there are various other ways that Denver can win this game, right? So what is all of this melodrama about Peyton Manning?
Because
that's my point.
He's good enough to win this game, and it's starting to feel meant to be. He might just end his career, wrap it all up with a Super Bowl parade. It's starting to feel
why
that
can't
way.
it be?
Riding off
And
on the
I'm
white
saying
horse.
to you,
Yeah.
and I'm saying to you, why can't it be meant to be? Because other guys who wear the same uniform as Peyton Manning step up and come to his rescue, as opposed to you sitting there and acting like, oh my Lord, Peyton Manning. I mean, he pulls this off. Maybe they will pull it off for him.
Well, he could always try and fail and lose the game, right? So he's got to be good enough. Did he throw any interceptions yesterday? Did he make any big mistakes yesterday? He did not. He made plays. That 3rd and 12 from the 23, that's the best throw of the whole game. That's big time. That might be the best throw I saw the whole weekend under the circumstances.
I'm not refuting those things because I know what Peyton Manning can do, a healthy Peyton Manning can do. That's what I'm just reminding you of it to say stop with the melodrama. This is what we expected. This is what we anticipated. John Elway assembled a complete team for Peyton Manning to help deliver him the Super Bowl because he knew that at this age, with attrition and everything else, Peyton Manning couldn't do it by himself. We know how big time Tom Brady is, but now he's got his 3 primary weapons in Amendola, Gronkowski, and Edelman. He doesn't even have to run the football, okay, in order to be effective and to win this game. It's the matchup we anticipated. Let's talk about that. You sitting up in here acting like you ready to be on the Young and the Restless. Did old Peyton Manning looking at resurrected? Just stop it. Just stop it.
Molly says
okay?
I got the look. I got the soap
I
opera
believe
look.
that.
He does, right?
I believe that. I believe you've got to look,
You
but
could
you
do
need
the
to
whole
admit
and
it.
the world turns.
And the
Come
world
on, you
turns.
got it. And raise your eyebrow. I can so
Well, would I be a villain or a good guy? Or are they all
Listen,
bad
you'd be a
villains?
villain.
I don't
You'd
know.
be
I
a
don't
villain.
watch-
You'd be a villain. But
Me,
listen,
a
the bottom
villain?
line is
You
there's
tread the
nothing
line.
wrong. There's nothing
good
wrong
guy.
with admitting that you were
Sometimes.
meant to be on the soap opera. I believe I'm going back on General Hospital. I'm meant to be there, and I might make an appearance on Young and the Restless myself. I might do that, Skip.
Well,
I
you're
have been
big
invited.
time, so that
I have
doesn't
been
surprise
invited.
me.
Okay, I got to make one last point.
Sure.
Okay, I never got your answer. Who has the psychological edge in this game?
The psychological edge belongs to Tom Brady because he
Thank
has
you.
all of his requisite weapons.
Oh, okay. So he has almost no offensive line from
Doesn't
what
matter.
it used to be.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, and you realize
Doesn't matter.
against Kansas City on the hottest defense in the playoffs, Kansas City's defense, 77% of the time they just snap the ball to Tom Brady and let him throw it. That's how great he is. And I want to drive that home. Against a Kansas City hellacious pass rush from the edge, they just said, why don't you just throw it every down? We don't need to run the ball. Would they have 38 yards rushing, 21 from running backs? Are you kidding me?
Listen,
Unbelievable.
no team, no defense with a speck of intelligence are going to send the house at Tom Brady, even with a suspect offensive line, if you have Amendola and Edelman in the lineup together at the same time, because he'll just draw them to him and dip it to one of those guys, and and he'll have a field day. They're not going to do it. If they didn't have them, then your points about the offensive line would be paramount. But the fact that Edelman and Amendola are in the lineup, the offensive line woes of the New England Patriots are not as pivotal as they were when those guys were out. It's a fact.
So are you leaning toward a Patriot blowout Sunday?
No, but I do believe the Patriots will win this game.
Okay. Thank you.
We shall leave it there. Oh, isn't this fun on a Monday?
Yeah.
The Panthers nearly blow a 31-point lead at home to Seattle. So have the guys lost faith in Cam and company? Find out when we come back.